Hello, it's Darren from Fleet MPS, and in today's video we're going to be looking at PDF and signing solutions. I've put for the legal sector. Realistically, this could be for any business, but the demonstrations I'm going to give today are more focused on things that we see our legal clients typically doing. We're going to start by looking at Power PDF, which is a product from Kofax. It's the leading PDF solution in the legal industry. You can kind of think of it as an Adobe Pro alternative, but it's more powerful and I believe a lot more user-friendly. So let's first create a document. To do that, we're going to combine these three files here. You can see that I've got bookmarking turned on, so we're going to have a bookmark created for each file name, and I'm going to save my file, and let's just call it test. So that's now creating the file. Not only will it be retaining existing bookmarks that are already in the PDF files that we're combining there, but it will also be looking at the headings in that Word document, and it'll be converting those into bookmarks as well. So here's the completed file, and we're going to open it with Power PDF. I'm just going to pause at this stage. So if you look across the top there, you see we've got like a ribbon interface, very similar to what you'd see in a Microsoft Office product, so like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, that kind of thing. So already this package is very familiar looking, makes it kind of user-friendly for the users to get on with. And on the top right there, we see there's a search for a tool. So if there is anything that you can't find on that ribbon interface, you tap it into there, and it will find the tool that you need for you. So we can see here in the bookmarks pane, not only has it retained the bookmarks from those PDF files, but it's created ones for the Word document as well. On the pages pane, I can manipulate pages by moving them around. In the menu, I could select things like rotation, or I could even delete pages if I didn't want them anymore. Looking back on the bookmarks pane, now I've got my pages how I want them. I can go and create a table of contents, set the levels that I want to show, and if I look at that table of contents, we can see all of the different headings are there, and we can click on them to go to that point of the document. So now let's start adding some markups to the document. So I'm going to do some highlighting first of all. We can select different colour highlights if we want to. I'm going to add a text box. And finally, I'm going to do a call out. And we'll make it orange. Now if I click edit text, I can just edit the normal text in that PDF document. I don't need to convert it to another file format first. I can just literally start typing straight into it. I can delete out whole sections of text if I want to. I could even select a whole text area if you like and delete the whole section. Or I can indeed convert to a completely different file format. So here I'm going to do a Word document, but you could do Excel, PowerPoint. We can also OCR a document. So say you've done a scan, you could get an OCR to recognise that text in the document and convert it to an editable format for you. We can see it's converted quite well. So yeah, we can type straight into Word. There's certain bits on the table there that didn't come out as nicely, but overall it's done a very good job. So now I'm going to redact something. So I'm going to search in the box up here, saves me looking through the menus. So I can either redact from this document, or I could do a whole folder of PDF files if I wanted to. In this example, I'm going to look for credit card numbers. There we go, and it's found one, so we're going to mark it for redaction. There we go, and I'm going to do a new search, and I know this document contains the word video, so search for that. There's all the occurrences, and mark them for redaction. So if we now go to security and mark redaction, we could actually also select over images if we wanted to. So I'm going to take out James Bond's face. When I finally apply that redaction, those areas will be completely blacked out. The original text or whatever is underneath is gone. You can't get it back in any way. It also goes through the document's metadata and removes any occurrences of those words in there as well. We do also have connectors in Power PDF, so here we can see a OneDrive connector, but we could put in connectors for practice management systems or perhaps document management systems as well. So finally, before we move on to some signing workflows, see here I've created a little table. I've done that in Word before I converted this to a PDF. So if I go to my form typer, I can now convert that into an actual PDF form. So I can see it's created a load of text fields, and if I use my text field tool, I can actually edit what those text fields are going to do. So on our date of birth one, I could set the format to be an actual date of birth, which will give the user a selection, a calendar selection. On the address, I'm just going to make sure it's a multi-line field, because we know we're going to need multiple lines in there. Yeah, it is. So years trading, be quite good if we could restrict that down so you could only type a number and perhaps have it between a certain amount of years. I don't know, whatever we want to put in there to kind of restrict that down. And we could do calculations as well, so we could have a field at the bottom where perhaps it adds up the values of multiple fields in a document, that kind of thing. So in absolute Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. So I've opened this in normal Adobe PDF, by the way, so obviously anything you make in Power PDF is absolutely compatible with Adobe. We can type into various different fields here. I've got checkboxes, multiple line fields. If I type in our office address, and then just put in some extra lines, we can see how it handles that. Date of birth field, so like I said, we can make that have a calendar drop down so the user can select a date quite easily. So we've got drop down boxes. Percentages, so 0.5 for 50, or I could change it to 0.75 for 75%. Some more tick boxes. So let's sign the document, just use the normal Adobe sign for that. There we go, and then my send button would send that on to an email address, fully complete. Next product we're going to look at is SignDoc, also from Kofax. It's a cloud-based solution that integrates fully with Power PDF. And the idea of this really is to replace your wet ink signatures with an electronic signature. So I guess the key thing for legal here is that when you send a document off a signature, you've got the cost to print it, you've got the cost to post it. More importantly, you've got that delay that it's got to get to the person, they've got to sign it and send it back. Whereas with a digital signature, you could get that document to them within the same minute, and you never know, they might even sign it within the hour. So it's gonna speed up that process. So you already know how to create a form in Power PDF. So if we look here, we can set some document properties, and we can start adding signees. So we're going to send this one to Ben. Okay, and then we're going to add a signature field. We've got different options here. We'll start with signature field, and we want Ben to sign here. And then I'm going to add some checkboxes in as well. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Checkboxes in as well. So checkbox, and here we go. I do one for each of these headings. And these are all things the SignDoc package is going to ask him to complete. We can put labels against things as well, so we could put like a sign here label against the signature box if we wanted to. There we go, text field we want him to complete. Right, so let's add another recipient. So I'm going to add myself. And I want me to sign here. Same again, we can start adding checkboxes and whatever else we want to add. So a couple of things to note here. There was an option for complete in any order. So if I turn that off, it would go to the first signee, they would have to sign it, and then the next person would have to sign it, and so on and so on. With that turned on, they can literally all sign it at separate times. And then on this screen here, we can see what signing methods we want to offer and whether a field is going to be made as a required field or not. So we now send off our sign-in package, and the recipients will all receive an email like this. They click the link and it opens up the document in a web browser for them to review and sign. So they don't need Power PDF or anything to do that signing. They could do it literally from a phone if they wanted to. Anything with a web browser. Note here there's an option to delegate if we want to send that on to someone else to sign, or we can decline if we thought perhaps we've been sent it in error or something along those lines. So we consent to use an electronic signature, and then we're shown the documents within that sign-in package. So it could be more than one PDF file in that package that we want them to sign. So here we can see where we want them to sign, and earlier we set what methods of signing we wanted to give them. So that could have been perhaps signing, with kind of a digital pen on the screen. It could be an upload of their signature. Could even be a sign on glass. They launch an app on their phone and they can sign using their phone as a signing device. So once they're done, they hit finish. We then, as the sender of that signing package, will receive an email to say the documents have been completed. We have a PDF file in there which contains both an audit trail of that whole signing process, and it contains that signed and completed document, or documents if you had multiple in your signing package. So one last thing on signing then, it's just worth noting in Power PDF that you can do a normal signature field that someone could fill in or upload their signature into. You can do digital signature fields as well. So that just about draws us to a close. I hope that was helpful. I would also recommend another video I did on automated document modification. I feel it kind of ties in a little bit with this. It's all sort of digital transformation, and it just looks at replacing your pre-printed papers, so letterheads, things like that, with digital overlays, and then also automating things like the inclusion of terms and conditions pages. Have a look at kind of the web links on here. We do a 30-day trial with Power PDF, so reach out to us and get one of those. You can't lose anything by trying it. And yeah, thanks for your time.